Hi there, this is David Sher, and I'm talking about graphics in GUI4sher. We're going to use the GUI4sher package and create graphics. Okay, so first I'm going to go over how to download the GUI4sher package in case this is the first time you're seeing this. It was also gone over in the previous introduction to GUI4sher package. So what we do is we go to the website matcmp.ncc.edu/sherd, that's me, /GUI4sher. And that brings you to this website, which is not complete because this video is going to go right here. But right now, I'm going to click on Download GUI4sher. Now it's going to want to put it into my Downloads folder. Let's put it into this Downloads folder. Okay, and we're going to create a folder in here for this video called Graphics, since this video is about creating graphics in GUI4sher. So, and that's where we're going to download to, a nice empty folder. And that is the process of downloading the GUI4sher package. You need to have Python installed on your thing. So, okay, and so let's take a look. Show that in the folder. There it is, GUI4sher. And what we're going to do is execute it. And the first thing it wants to do is have a name of the project you're working on. And I'm going to name this project, okay, which is going to hold graphics. I'm going to call it demonstration. Now it's important that this name be a valid Python variable name, okay, because it's going to come up in Python. So don't put spaces or exclamation points or any kind of weird characters, pluses or something. Stick to very simple stuff. You can use underbars. Don't store it with a number, okay? And I'm just calling it demonstration. Keep it simple. Save. So, the process here is, now that I've set up my project, I'm going to start creating graphics. Now, graphics demonstrates one of the deep philosophical concepts of programming, and the concept is based on magic. Programming is magic in many ways. One way that I'm going to focus on right now is abracadabra. Now, you probably have heard that at a magic show. Someone says abracadabra and pulls a rabbit from a hat. Abracadabra in Aramaic means I create like the word. And that's what we do. We write words and they create things. Okay? So, it's going to create things in this project here. Right now, the first thing I'm going to mess with is the copyright notice. So, one of the things I like to start a student with is I'm going to make them the author of what they're doing. So, if I had a student, maybe author student, and I'm going to add him as an author. So now, what we have here, this package is going to be copyright to both me and a student. And I can also, depending on, now right now the year is right, but I can say update year, and even if it was 2025, it would fix the year to be the correct year. It's still 2020, sorry about that. I'll have to test that in another few years. And then we can also add thanks to another professor. Okay, so if someone else has helped them build this project, they can thank them that way. And see, so we write these words and these things happen. And now, if we've suddenly run out of time, the student can stop and then they can just start up demonstration at Pi where they left off. There, you see all the stuff. Copyright GUI4sher and a student, thanks to John Zeal. And this is a general principle, is that you can always stop and start over again. Don't need to be quite that. Now, what I'm going to start doing is writing some more commands. So, what are the commands? Well, we're going to, I'll bring this guy up for a second. Okay, so there are 6 graphical objects that I've set up in GUI4sher. Rectangles, ovals, circles, lines, dashed lines, and polygons. Okay, and so let's go back here and place the first of these a rectangle. So the words we write here, the magic words are place rectangle. Now, this doesn't sound too cool in English, but imagine, 300 years from now when everyone's speaking Esperanto and they say, what's this magic word? Place rectangle? And they say it'll just be a magic word. It won't have any meaning to them. And so, yes, I'm very optimistic that my software is still going to be used 300 years from now, but accept that for now. Now, the first thing it wants to do is it doesn't want any objects on the screen that don't have a name. So we'll call this Roger the rectangle. Once again, now this thing is a little careful. If you want to say, call this, say, Roger Rabbit, it won't let you. Right? It's got to be a variable name, so we'll call it Roger. Okay. And now you see these guidelines, these faint little lines. Those are to help line things up. We'll come up on that. So first thing, we're going to drop down 2 corners. One corner and another corner. And there's Roger the rectangle. Now, of course, all of these guys have names, widths. That's the width of the outline, fills, and the color of the filling, and the color of the outline. Now every object we place down is in an object-oriented model. Roger is a rectangle object. And so I can say Roger dot, once again, magic, Roger dot set width 10. And now I have a nice thick line for Roger. Or Roger dot set outline red. And now Roger is a nice thick red rectangle. Now I might want to draw another rectangle. Place a rectangle. And let's call this Rocky, the rectangle. So I can just give the name right here. And now it says click on a corner Rocky. And I'm going to line him up with Roger. So I'm going to put a corner here, and the bottom will be the same thing. It's going to be a lot narrower though. There's Rocky the rectangle. And I'm going to take Rocky and fill him with, I don't know, purple. And now I've got a nice purple-filled rectangle named Rocky. Now, other things I can do is I can put an oval down inside Roger the rectangle. So place oval. Now, ovals are set up the same way as rectangles, and I'm going to name this oval. Now, later, often, if we're writing a program, we give things names so that we can do things to them. And I'm running out, and I'm not going to remember, and I might want to use this display in another couple of weeks. I'm not going to remember names like Roger and Rocky, so I'm just going to call this oval 1. And that will help me. And I can never remember the order of the next few parameters, so I'm just going to say oval 1 will have a width, and we can write that equals 3, and a fill of yellow. So we can tell it some things about oval 1. We can leave them out too, and it just comes out by the default colors and stuff. And we're going to click over here, and I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to fill them up. There's oval 1 inside Roger the rectangle. Now, I can also place a circle, and that'll be circle 1. And let's give it a width of 3 again, and an outline of Tkinter has all sorts of colors. Tkinter is the graphics package this is based on. Much harder to use. Let's give it an outline of orange. And I'm creating a circle. Circles are done a little differently. We're going to click on the center of the circle, and I'm going to line it up with the center of these other things. And now it wants me to click. Oops. Well, we'll ignore circles. That'll be fixed later. In a few minutes, actually, after I make this video. But you click on the center and then on the circumference. Okay, let's do lines. I don't know what I did wrong on this. Let's place line, and we'll call that line 1. And I'm going to make it width 5, and I'm going to call it orange again. I'm going to draw an orange line. Oh, I have to say what I'm making orange. I'm going to make the outline. Lines don't have a fill, they only have outlines. Okay, so we're going to click on an endpoint of the line. We're going to click on another endpoint of the line, and there it drew an orange line. Now, lines can have arrows too, so I can say line 1 dot set arrow, and I can say first, last, or both. So if I set it to the last guy, it'll be the last point I clicked on. And you can see is now right over here. A little hard to see, but you can see that there's an arrow instead of just a flat point like here. Now, I can also place a dashed line, call it dashed 1, and we'll make this width also equal to 5, and I'm going to, and the outline here is going to be dark red. Get that right. And we'll click on this guy and click on that guy. You can also add arrows to dark lines, and so we can say dashed 1 dot set arrow to be the first, and that's going to be up here. This is the first point I clicked on, I hope. And there you can, if you look closely, you'll see this little arrow at the end of that. Now, okay, so, and once again, if you got, and so those are all the different features we see. And believe me, circles will be working in a few minutes. Okay, doesn't matter that much. Oh, okay, let's go back. I clicked out. I'll go back and work a little more on this, graphics. And let's go back to demonstration at Pi. There it is. I want to also talk about polygons. So we'll place a polygon. We'll call this we'll call this a pentagon. And I'm going to okay, and I'm not too inspired with colors right now, so I'm just going to make a black pentagon with no fill at all. And so we're going to just drop down some points. So the first point is a nice big circular orange, and then I'm going to create another point over here, another point over here, another point over here, another point over here, and I click back on the original point, and I get this rather irregular, but very acute pentagon. And now I can say, if I really, pentagon dot set fill, whoop, I'll probably crash this. Nope. As you see, if I make an error in my code, in my command, it does, this thing gives you back a nice, right. So let's see, pentagon dot set fill brown. I know that's a color. There it goes. So, at this point, I've covered all of the different objects, and we'll stop here in terms of making graphics in this guy.